In a world where every smile captured can be shared with millions, some smiles hide the darkest of secrets. This is the story of Mario Bressi, a father who posted a smiling photo with his twins just hours before an act that would leave a nation horrified and a family destroyed. This is the chilling tale of love, loss, and a father's final, tragic goodbye. Mario Bressi was a 45-year-old man who, on the surface, seemed like a dedicated and loving father. Living in Devastate, a small town near Milan, Italy, he and his wife shared two beautiful children, Elena and Diego. The twins, at 12 years old, were the pride of their parents, adored by friends, teachers, and extended family. Known for their infectious smiles and close bond, the twins brought joy to everyone they encountered. Though Mario and his wife Daniela had recently separated, those around them were unaware of the brewing turmoil. Like many separated couples, they faced the challenge of co-parenting while navigating their new lives apart. Daniela had obtained primary custody, and the couple was working through the legalities of visitation and support. While friends described Mario as a normal, doting dad, hints of resentment were beginning to surface, and tensions were mounting behind closed doors. To the outside world, the family's separation was relatively quiet and uneventful. However, unbeknownst to anyone, Mario was struggling deeply with the new family structure. Reports later surfaced that he was feeling increasingly marginalized, fearing he might lose his relationship with his children. This inner turmoil began manifesting as an all-consuming bitterness toward his ex-wife. In late June 2020, Mario planned a weekend trip with his twins, Elena and Diego, to their holiday home in Margno, a serene mountain village in northern Italy. He likely presented it as a chance to spend quality time together, away from the stresses of daily life. For the twins, it was another fun trip with their father, a brief escape where they could enjoy the mountains and their father's company. But the night of June 27th, Mario posted something unexpected on Instagram. He shared a photo of himself and the twins, all three smiling. His caption was ominous in hindsight, reading along the lines of, "With you forever." Friends and family who saw the post were touched, interpreting it as a loving message from a father to his children. The smiles in the photo conveyed nothing but warmth, joy, and familial love. No one could have suspected the hidden darkness behind Mario's actions, but within hours the lives of Elena, Diego, and Mario would be ended in the most tragic way. In the early hours following the Instagram post, Mario allegedly carried out an unspeakable act. Authorities later revealed that Mario had taken the lives of Elena and Diego while they were asleep. The circumstances suggested that he may have sedated them, ensuring they would not wake or feel fear. Police later reported that the scene suggested careful planning, with no signs of a struggle. After committing this horrific act, Mario left a series of messages for Daniela. The details of these messages were shocking. He reportedly described his actions in brutal terms, placing blame on Daniela for what had happened. His words painted a picture of anger, desperation, and a desire for revenge as he accused her of driving him to this act. Mario's words, sent from the scene of the crime, were laced with resentment and bitterness, turning his last act into a calculated attempt to emotionally devastate his ex-wife. Shortly after sending the messages, Mario drove to a nearby cliff in the Alps. Alone, with no one to witness, he ended his own life. When Daniela received his texts, she was frantic. She immediately contacted the police and rushed to the holiday home in Margno, hoping that somehow it wasn't too late. But when she arrived, her worst fears were confirmed. Her beautiful twins were gone. The deaths of Elena and Diego at the hands of their father shocked the entire nation. In Italy, family and community bonds are strong, and such a crime struck at the heart of shared values. The media captured the story, with headlines portraying the tragic loss, the unexpected horror, and the image of that last Instagram post. A smiling family snapshot, now steeped in sorrow. People across Italy and eventually the world grappled with disbelief and heartbreak. Friends and neighbors who knew Mario as a kind father couldn't reconcile the smiling family man with the monster who had committed this crime. Italian newspapers delved into the psychological turmoil of divorce, custody disputes, and parental rights, and conversations spread about the challenges separated parents face. The fact that Mario had taken his own life added another layer of complexity. His suicide denied the justice system an opportunity to hold him accountable, leaving his ex-wife, Daniela, with no closure, only endless grief and unanswered questions. Many rallied in support of Daniela, sharing condolences and expressing anger toward a man who would destroy his own children to spite their mother. Across Italy, public grief was interwoven with outrage. The tragic story of Mario Bressi raises questions about what drives a parent to such an incomprehensible act. Experts classify cases like these as filicide-suicide, where a parent kills their own children before taking their own life. Psychologists and criminologists have long studied filicide-suicide cases, noting several recurring themes: intense feelings of loss, overwhelming anger, and a distorted sense of love or protection. In Mario's case, the driving force appeared to be a combination of anger and despair, fueled by the separation and custody issues. Some psychologists suggest that in certain cases, individuals who commit filicide-suicide may feel that they are rescuing their children from an undesirable situation, although this reasoning is tragically flawed and based on distorted thinking. Bressi's actions may have also been compounded by what is known as reactive depression, a condition that can emerge in individuals who feel their lives spiraling out of control due to sudden changes, such as divorce or custody loss. In severe cases, this form of depression can lead to catastrophic thinking, causing the individual to see death as the only way out. Criminologists also examined the chilling nature of Mario's final message and what it reveals about his mindset. His words to Daniela were filled with resentment, showing he wanted to punish her emotionally, even if he would not be there to witness it. Psychologists who studied the case noted this as a form of psychological punishment, common in cases where the perpetrator is unable to accept changes to their family dynamics. In the aftermath, Daniela was left to grieve the loss of her children, a grief amplified by the manner in which they were taken. For her, the loss was not only of her beloved twins, but also of a future that had been stolen in one horrific night. Her pain was shared by her local community, who mourned alongside her and tried to come to terms with how something so unimaginable could happen within their circle. Elena and Diego's school held memorials, and their friends and classmates were offered counseling. Teachers and parents in the community struggled to explain to their own children what had happened. Parents, particularly those who had gone through divorces or custody struggles, felt a profound shock and fear. The questions lingered. How had this happened? Could such a tragedy have been prevented? For Daniela, life after that fateful night would never be the same. Although she received an outpouring of support, no amount of condolences could ease the pain of losing her children. As for the family home, it became a painful reminder of what was lost, an empty space where memories of Elena and Diego would forever linger. The story of Mario Bressi serves as a tragic reminder of the fragile nature of family relationships and the devastating impact of untreated psychological issues. As we remember Elena and Diego, two young souls taken too soon, we are left with difficult questions. Could anything have been done to prevent this? And what warning signs, if any, might have gone unnoticed in Mario's final days? The tragedy of Mario Bressi and his children is one that echoes far beyond the walls of their family home. It serves as a stark reminder of the importance of addressing mental health struggles, especially during life transitions like divorce and separation. For anyone experiencing overwhelming thoughts or feelings, know that help is available and no one needs to face these feelings alone. If you or someone you know is struggling, reach out to a mental health professional or call a support hotline. There is help and there is hope.